with 2 defeats. From Bronx, New York, the challenger, Jeffrey Resto. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing silver with white, of this weight, 140 pounds, professional record, 22 victories, including 17 knockouts, only 1 defeat, 1 bout even, from Oxnard, California. He's the NABO Junior Welterweight Champion, Vicious Victor Ortiz.
Okay, gentlemen, waistline is right here, waistline is right here. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to remind you that I expect a clean fight. God bless. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. God bless. Touch up.
Ortiz's 2 fights that he didn't win. One when it was ruled that he hit on a break after knocking a guy down twice and was disqualified. The other was cuts from elbows, and that was a no decision.
Southpaws against each other. Always have to look twice to make sure of what you're looking at when you see 2 southpaws against each other. It's less and less unusual, however, as we seem to see more and more southpaws in the sport.
And it's going to be very common now. Also, it's interesting that most of the southpaws, at least 50% of them, are really not southpaws.
They're natural right-handers who are putting their stronger hand in front because of the popularity of the trend, which is underlined by the success of fighters like Oscar De La Hoya.
In a lot of the cities, I know from the amateurs, when you have boxers coming from Cincinnati, it's about 9 out of 10 are going to be southpaws. Years back, it used to be like that in Seattle, Washington.
You can see the difference in bulk. Ortiz by far the stronger upper body. This does not mean that Resto isn't strong. Not strong enough to take that straight left.
I was going to say he looks so weak, not just because of the height and the lack of tone, but just the way his body moved, that he looks very weak and vulnerable.
A decisive straight left by Ortiz, set up by a jab, knockdown number 1 in round 1. And we've already had 2 quick knockouts on the undercard.
That was a Pacquiao-ish type of punch. Short, straight, left hands.
Resto seems disappointed in himself that he isn't seeing these punches coming.
No, he seems to be a little step off, but is physically not as strong and also not as sharp with his movement.
So 2 knockdowns already in round number 1 for Ortiz. No 3 knockdown rule in effect under the unified rules as quoted to you by Harold Letterman.
This is over.
It just doesn't appear that Resto is in position to defend himself against the quickness and power of Ortiz. And Resto is just trying to dodge these punches, hasn't found any way to establish himself in the fight. Now he switches to a conventional stance.
Watch your head, gentlemen, watch your head.
Well, he had enough presence to do that at least.
We'll see if that changes the character of round number 1 at all. As Jeff Resto, who started out on southpaw stance, has switched to conventional midway through the first round after going down twice on straight left-hand shots by Victor Ortiz. And now Resto lands a couple of little right hands.
And he is the aggressor right here, at least in terms of the territory in the ring.
He doesn't have any power to snap at all.
It's a 10-7 round to begin for Victor Ortiz.
All right? Gotta move that home. You gotta move, all right? You inside, keep that jab busy, all right? All right? You gotta stay busy. You gotta get busy. Move on the side, don't stay in the middle. Keep that jab busy and move.
Whatever you can, just try and get in. You can try 1-2 easy. Or press. You got 1-2 and step in on it, just like you did.
Here we see Ortiz laying a straight, perfect left right on the chin, and very little head movement at all from Resto.
And here's something we haven't seen before tonight, I understand, the second round. When you get a lot of talent, when you get a lot of...
We saw the second round of Daniel Jacobs versus Victor Lawrence.
Okay.
This is the
I was out back.
second round of the evening, Larry.
You know, when you get a lot of talented young fighters and they're not being matched competitively, you run the danger of these kinds of quick, decisive, but ultimately not entertaining matches.
Well, if you looked at the overall resume, you might not have known this was supposed to be as one-sided as it's been, but the character of their last couple of years in the ring might have shown you that it's an uphill climb for Resto at this point to regain the confidence that he once had, and particularly against a surging young fighter like Ortiz.
Well, I thought this would be a much more tightly competitive fight than it is, but right now Resto is weak, with no power, and very little head movement. It's just a matter of time, seems like, for the more compact and precise punching, stronger fighters going to defeat them. It's just a matter of time.
Resto staying in the conventional stance in this round. Ortiz has figured that out in a hurry. Here's the third knockdown of the fight. Two in the first round, and now a knockdown in the second round.
7, 8, 9. No.
Good call.
The referee, Russell Mora, has seen enough, so it's a second round knockout for Victor Ortiz. And you just had a wild hunch that could be the end of Jeff Resto's professional boxing career. For safety's sake, probably not a bad idea.
No, I don't think he's going to do any better in boxing. He has a good job, and I'm quite sure he has a nice family, so I'm quite sure he's going to go back and take some consideration into maybe pursuing his interest in his job and his family now.
For Ortiz, another victory on the way up.